Okay, this is going to be a quick one. It's almost 10 o'clock at night, and I was just perusing for some information and maybe recipes for canning onions because I have a whole drawer full in my refrigerator that need to be something done with them, and I don't have freezer space. So, I came across a YouTube channel, and I'll go ahead and tell you it's called the Hippie Homesteaders. Um, please, please do not do what this woman's doing. She was taking chopped up onions and bell peppers of various colors, and she's putting them in jars and water bathing them. That is not safe. They may be okay for a very, very short period, but I wouldn't even trust that. When vegetables have no acid in them, like tomatoes do, but tomatoes technically are fruit. Most fruits have a ton of acid in them. You can water bath them. Peaches, pears, apples, pineapples, tomatoes, because they're technically a fruit. But vegetables, potatoes, beans, onions, bell peppers, they don't have that acidity. They just don't. Um, that's why a lot of people will take things and pickle them because you're adding acidity. You're putting vinegar in there with them. So you're adding the acidity to it. And then you can water bath them because they're pickled. Cucumbers, you turn them into pickles. You can turn pretty much any vegetable into a pickle. If you've ever seen those jars of mixed vegetables of all sorts, they're pickled. They've got a vinegar base. I just wanted to put a warning out there. And if you have something that you're watching and it's questionable, read the comments. There were a number of people who made comments that this was not safe, this was not approved by anyone to can this way. I'll agree, and I wouldn't do it. When I can stuff, it's going to be on my shelf for quite some time. I'm only one person. I can't use something up within, a month or two. I just don't. People used to can stuff because that was going to get them through the winter time and up until the harvest came in the next year. That was the purpose of canning. So, or dehydrating, same thing. These days, if you have a whole lot of produce and don't want to put it in the freezer for whatever your reasoning is. Mine is I don't have room, and twice in the past because of hurricanes, I have lost everything in the little freezer above the refrigerator because electricity was out. Couldn't use it up quickly enough. So I lost a lot of food. Food's expensive, especially these days. I don't want to go through that again. So I'm canning. In fact, I've been cleaning my freezer out because there's things I need to put in there that cannot be canned. I had gotten a good buy on some nuts, and I've packaged those up in Mylar bags. No oxygen absorber. You can just put them in freezer bags, but I happen to have had Mylar bags, so I did that, and I've put those in the freezer now that I have room. What I canned today was roast beef and some little steak pieces, and I did them a little differently. I didn't roast them this time. I just seared them in a frying pan with just a little coconut oil in there. And I had trimmed off all of the fatty and gristly pieces because these were not really good cuts of meat because they were on special. Um, and then I canned them with boiling water. Everything was hot, hot jars, hot pans, hot water. Everything was hot, and I pressure canned them because it's low acid. So if you're going to plan to do onions because you have a plethora of them like I do, and even though I cook with onions in nearly everything, some of these onions that I've been given are huge. And I would only use, I mean, like for a pot of soup, I might only use a half of one because some of them are just humongous. So I'm going to be canning up some onions. And if I can get this thing to work properly for long enough, I will try and film some of that so that you can see what I'm doing. But please, pressure can vegetables. Please. If you consider a tomato a vegetable, you can water bath that one. That's fine. But that's the only one. That's the only one. Unless you're pickling. So please be careful of what you find on YouTube because you'll find all kinds of people with all kinds of opinions. I'm going to try doing onions my way. I've watched a lady, and I'm going to see if I can find the pickle crisp she was talking about. Helps keep your onions a little firmer. I do not have a dehydrator, which would be the normal way to do it. Chop them up and dehydrate them. I'm also told that is extremely stinky, and I'm in an apartment on the third floor. I can't do it outside. So, I'm going to try and can them. And if they turn to mush, oh well, they're going to go in soups and casseroles and stuff anyway. So, just be aware. If you're at all unsure, go to a trusted canner on YouTube. You can put a comment, ask a question below this video, and I will get back to you as soon as I see it. And I check stuff every day, so you shouldn't have to wait very long. And it doesn't matter how far down the road that may be, ask. If nothing else, you can ask your county extension people. They probably even have some little pamphlets they'll give you or things that you can download off the internet. So be aware, unless you're pickling it or unless it's a tomato, which is technically a fruit, excuse me, pressure can your vegetables. Now, you may not find times on some vegetables because the USDA doesn't recommend certain vegetables to be canned anymore because they haven't taken the time to test new stuff. So I do have a book from a lady who does can things that are not recommended, but I've not found anything yet that doesn't work. So I'm going to be checking that when I get to doing the onions in the next couple of days here. I'm going to leave it here because it's after 10 o'clock at night. I'm tired. I've been canning and cleaning, washing dishes upon pots, upon utensils all day long. So, thanks for dropping in. And please be aware if you're canning, make sure you're doing it the right way. Everyone have a great night. It'll probably be morning by the time you see this. But I will get it up tonight, but you may be in bed already. I'm a bit of a night owl, so I was just kind of browsing YouTube for things. Okay. Everybody have a great night. Sleep well. Be blessed. Pray for our world because Lord knows it needs it. Thanks.